Co-President of the Europe of Freedom and Democracy, Nigel Farage. The floor is yours.
Well, here we are, on the edge of a financial and social disaster, and in the room today we have the four men who were supposed to be responsible. And yet we've listened to the dullest, most technocratic speeches I've ever heard. You are all in denial. By any objective measure, the euro is a failure. And who is actually responsible? Who's in charge out of you lot? Well, of course, the answer is none of you, because none of you have been elected. None of you actually have any democratic legitimacy for the roles that you currently hold within this crisis. And into this vacuum, albeit reluctantly, has stepped Angela Merkel. And we are now living in a German-dominated Europe. Something that the European project was actually supposed to stop. Something that those that went before us actually paid a heavy price in blood to prevent. I don't want to live in a German-dominated Europe, and nor do the citizens of Europe. But you guys have played a role, because when Mr. Papandreou got up and used the word referendum, or Mr. Wren, you described it as a breach of confidence, and your friends here got together like a pack of hyenas, rounded on Papandreou, had him removed and replaced by a puppet government. What an absolutely disgusting spectacle that was. And not satisfied with that, you decided that Berlusconi had to go. So he was removed and replaced by Mr. Monti, a former European Commissioner, a fellow architect of this Euro disaster, and a man who wasn't even a member of the Parliament. It's getting like an Agatha Christie novel, where we're trying to sort of work out who's the next person that's going to be bumped off. The difference is we know who the villains are. You should all be held accountable for what you've done. You should all be fired. And I have to say, Mr. Van Rompuy, 18 months ago when we first met, I was wrong about you. I said you'd be the quiet assassin of nation-state democracy, but you're not anymore. You're rather noisy about it, aren't you? You, an unelected man, went to Italy and said, this is not the time for elections, but the time for actions. What in God's name gives you the right to say that to the Italian people?
Thank you.
The police chiefs and high-ranking delegations of the member states of the Economic Cooperation Organization are in Tehran. The goal to establish EcoPol and strengthen police and security cooperation to fight transnational organized crime and drug trafficking.
So the best way to confront is to organize ourselves at the regional level, so we can benefit from our cooperation. This is the only item which could be but need the maximum cooperation, and I think we are receiving that cooperation.
It's been a decade since foreign powers invaded the region under the pretext of fighting terrorism and weapons of mass destruction, but they only made the situation worse. Afghanistan used to produce 200 tons of narcotics a year. Now the figure has reached 8,000 tons, and we all know that terrorism thrives on drugs.
The role of EcoPol is said to be defined by the general provisions of its constitution, focusing primarily on terrorism, organized crime, illicit drug production and trafficking, weapons smuggling, human trafficking, and computer crime.
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is Wednesday, November 23rd, 2011, and I'm Darko. My website is ggnonline.com. That's ggnonline.com. Also, Global Government News has a group on Facebook. You can check it out, where all the links are for all the articles and YouTube's video description. And on YouTube, ddarko2012 is my channel. Okay, so we saw this article, and I just wanted to go back to it because it's just, I didn't have time towards the end of the video. Malls track shoppers' cell phones on Black Friday, and it says while the data that's collected is anonymous, it can follow shoppers' paths from store to store. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy stuff. It says while U.S. malls have long tracked huge crowds moving throughout their stores, this is the first time they've used their cell phones, and with it comes privacy concerns. Well, they're not actually. Are they going to actually tell everybody before they walk in there? A big red sign that says you will be tracked. No. Well, maybe they will. I don't know. I can't predict what they're going to do, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that no, because they don't give a shit about your privacy concerns. So it's interesting. Stephanie Shriver-Engdahl, Vice President of Digital Strategy for Forest City, says the system monitors patterns of movement. So we won't be looking at singular shoppers. We can see like migrating birds where people are going to go. So like sheep, right? Like migrating sheep. I mean, she might as well just go ahead and say that. So, okay, so it says they do notify them. Still, the company is preemptively notifying customers by hanging what? Big red signs? No, small signs. Okay, so I was kind of right? I was like, yeah, if they are going to do it, it's going to be small signs, not big signs before you enter the mall. Around the shopping centers, consumers can opt out by turning off their phones. Well, you can do it anyways if you're not going to use it, so you're not getting sterilized and radiated and tracked by, well, your provider and by the government. So, the tracking system called Footpath Technology works through a series of antennas positioned throughout the shopping centers that capture the unique identification number assigned to each phone. That's right, similar to a computer's IP address, and tracks its movement throughout the stores. System can't take photos or collect data on what shoppers have purchased, and it doesn't collect any personal details associated with the ID, like the user's name or phone number. The information is fiercely protected by mobile carriers. Yeah, I'm sure. We don't need to know who it is, and we don't need to know anyone's cell phone number, nor do we want that. So it just goes on here to tell you it's not an invasion of privacy and tell you that everything's okay, guys. So, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And don't forget, they may even have biometric facial scans that will target advertising towards you as well in the malls. Real-life Minority Report Analytics assist police in detecting crime. We talked about this in the LA Police Department. And it says predictive policing. That means using predictive analytics to analyze data such as the times and locations of past crimes to forecast where and when certain crimes are likely to happen in the future so police can stop them before they occur. So will you be charged for a crime that you hadn't even committed yet? I wouldn't be surprised, because remember what I said before, they actually drone bomb and kill people that are, quote, suspects and actually don't do anything, like all these FBI terror plots that are foiled. Well, they're all patsies, and they don't actually do anything. They just were about to do something. So this is already in the wings. People have already been conditioned to accept this, so they will. This is interesting. It goes in there and talks about how it's like predicting earthquakes, right? And we all know that half the earthquakes that take place are actually HARPed. They're actually created by man. So, and I don't, even if you look at what the scientists say, they say that earthquakes can't really be predicted. So I don't really know what's up with that. 10 outlandish, I could be wrong, 10 outlandish things the scientific controllers have in mind for you near the future. Organ harvesting from genetically modified patented pigs to behavioral vaccines that rewire your brain to eliminate dissent. And don't forget that there's also a diagnostic code in the diagnostic manual for psychology that says you have an anti-authority disorder too. Centralized remote monitoring of all your health statistics and vital signs by the police state, so they can be hacked too. It says here the total secrecy of all food ingredients, sources, and places of origin. Number 5, the complete criminalization of home-produced foods and medicines, forcing total reliance on factory food production. The unleashing of a global bioweapon pandemic through seasonal flu shots. And let's not forget the other article about the bird flu. Scientists are tweaking it, so making it a super virus right now. It says total government control over your reproduction and genetic code of your offspring. I just covered that. DNA bases they're talking about. Taking your blood when you're a baby, wireless brain implants that can be remotely activated by law enforcement to make entire crowds of people passive. That's right, they can actually kill you remotely with a chip inside you. It says here the genetic engineering and breeding of obedient super soldiers, then the electromagnetic activation of metals and nanocrystals injected into you through vaccines. And they don't have to be injected through you through vaccines. They can be through the chemtrails, through the geoengineering, terraforming, spraying. They're spraying metals. And they're spraying different types of chemicals, oxides, and that, so that you already have it in your body, even if you don't take vaccinations. That's why it's just the most wrong, immoral thing that they're doing right now, is taking away our sun. They're taking away the sun that belongs to all of us every day. And so I'm going to keep moving here, but yeah, and just think, it's kind of like that X-Files episode where you had Skinner, he had that guy remotely causing his body, all of his veins to just start going crazy, right? that was basically letting you know that that technology has existed for over 10 to 20 years. Okay, moving on here. RCMP cameras with crime photos found in trees. That's right. It says here that a British Columbia man has seized 2 surveillance cameras. He says that I think it's the police had hidden in the trees near the trailer home, and that they are full of images from crime scenes and investigation. What's crazy is that he found the motion-activated camera in June in trees overlooking the trailer that he rents. He didn't even own it. He rents it. So, goodbye roll call. Hello RFIDs. For some reason, I have vivid memories of roll call in elementary school. And it goes on here, and it says that upon arriving at the morning, each student at the CCC Georgia Miller Preschool will don a jersey with a stitched in RFID chip as the kids go about the business of learning. Sensors in the school record their movements, collecting attendance for both classes and meals. Oh, but it won't track single persons. It won't store any data, right? There's no. They shouldn't be concerned about privacy. Officials from the school have claimed that they're only recording information they're required to provide while receiving federal funds for the Head Start program. So almost what I said, right? Some express alarm at the potential infringement of privacy rights. Then next up, State Department attacks conspiracy theories. In addition to handling the Obama regime's diplomatic responsibilities, State Department is also working on debunking conspiracy theories on a suspended website. The agency provides a section called Conspiracy Theories and Misinformation. That's right. Here it is, guys. Look at this. Crazy. Look at the first one. 9/11, a government-sponsored attack. Right? And then outer space. Ooh, the moon landing didn't really happen, and there wasn't aliens, and U.S. and Islam, as if, there's neocons that think that Islam is taking over and stuff with the United States. And look at others. They started David. Like I said, I'm not like anti-Israel or anti-Semitic or anything like that. It's just that look at all this stuff, dude. It's crazy. Health. You know what's going to be in there, right? Let's just go check. Vaccines, right? When new life-threatening diseases emerge, such as AIDS, which is made in a lab, the H1N flu, that was made in a lab, that scientists even said that, severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, people are alarmed and can seize on conspiracy theories to explain their sudden appearance. It goes in here and says basically that it was debunked that the AIDS virus was created in a U.S. military laboratory. And it says here that, so then we have U.S. domestic today. Some conspiracy theorists falsely claim President Barack Obama, which isn't even his real fucking name, was not born in the United States, making him ineligible to be president. However, there is no doubt that he was born in Hawaii. Okay, well, there's no doubt by who? The fucking people that put him there. That's who. Lobbying firm's memo spells out plan. Dude, they really think that we're that unintelligent and stupid as they are and they look, right? Like Ron Pooley with his stupid ass bald head, right? Looks like Smithers or something. They really think that we're as stupid as they are, as inbred as they are. Well, we're not. We know they're fucking shit. Lobbying firm's memo spells out plan to undermine Occupy Wall Street. Well-known Washington lobbying firm with links to financial industry has proposed a $850,000 plan to take on Occupy Wall Street and politicians who might express sympathy for the protests, according to a memo obtained by MSNBC. So we have police dismantle Occupy Toronto camp, and 19 and pregnant. I don't know why they even say that. Why does that even matter? Occupy Wall Street protester suffers miscarriage from Seattle police after they were basically pepper spraying and beating people. British students burn Obama's effigy. Kenny rejects report budget plan was leaked to the Germans. In Ireland, Germany is now our new master. Euro on death watch after investors spur German bonds. German 10-year bond auction, a disaster. It says sale of German benchmark bonds sparked fears on Wednesday. The debt crisis is beginning to threaten even Berlin. EU puts forward Euro bond plans, propose tighter controls over Eurozone member budgets, so no sovereignty there, and an option for a common Eurozone bond market. Wall Street analysis everywhere are in agreement the world is ending. Then Jim Grant, central banks are insolvent. Well, they already are. Anger mounts as MF Global clients see $3 billion stuck. Then we have government sacks and the death of the democratic Europe. New appointed technocrats in Italy and Greece do not have the interests of the European people. EU chief, the time has come for a federal Europe. Then Eurozone crisis, European Union prepares for the great leap forward, which what? The real great leap forward resulted in 46 million deaths. Super secret committee failure. Well, look at it. It says back to the source, members of the Dept panel have ties to lobbyists, and all 6 get Fs from taxpayers' unions. And more sellout senators push online tax legislation. This is GGN. Thank you.